Welcome everybody again to Safran 2. We have a talk about virtual network functions, about from a guy that is the definition of a techie. Here is Wei, please welcome him.
Thank you, Dan. Welcome everyone to my talk. Today I will give an introduction of a new feature in CloudStack 4.19, the VNF integration and support. So my name is Wei. I'm working as a software architect at Blue. I have 11 years experience in CloudStack, and I am a committer since 2013 and a PMC member since 2017. You can reach me by email or on GitHub. Yeah. So here is the content of my talk. I will start with the introduction of VNF and some use cases. Then how to build our own VNF images and how to work with the VNF images, how to deploy the VNF appliance in CloudStack, and at the end, summary and discussion of future work. So the first section, introduction of VNF. VNF stands for virtualized network functions. So they are mostly software applications which implement some network functions. And normally it runs on hypervisor as virtual machines. And they are used to replace physical network devices, so we can reduce the cost. There is another concept named network function virtualization, NFV, which is has similar name. It is architecture to manage and deploy VNF appliances. Alex has given a talk 2 years ago in CCC. The NFC with CloudStack. If you are interested, you can watch the video online. What functionalities, what network functions can be virtualized? They are not. So the gateways, storage gateway, voice IP gateway, and net, source net, and destination net or one-to-one net, firewalls, load balancer, DHCP DNS, VPN, tunnel, and some security devices, security functions, and the internet optimization and acceleration, transparent proxy. So where or how to get the VNF images? There are two ways. The first one, we can get the VNF images from vendors, including some service providers, some cloud providers, or hypervisor, the marketplace, or some other sources. Alternatively, we can build our own VNF images. These are the virtual routers from Cisco. So you can get them from the website. Also, on the VMware marketplace, there are a lot of images which can be used on VMware vCenter or the VMware products. On Google Cloud, a lot of VNF images. So if you look at choose category and the type, you can get the list. So some are Citrix for Cisco or from F5. Yeah, a lot of images. And on the Microsoft Azure Marketplace, there are also a lot of VNF images. But these images from vendor are mostly not free, so we have to pay for it, or we need to bring our own license. Actually, we have another type of VNF appliance in CloudStack, which is the virtual router. So actually, we can see that we use VNF appliance for many years. The VR provides some network features, for example, source net and static net, firewall, load balancer, and DHCP, DNS, remote access VPN, site VPN, etc. Yeah. However, the CloudStack VRs are tiny coupled with CloudStack. So there's no UI, no command line, and no API. And also, it doesn't have some network features, for example, OpenVPN, dynamic routing, and some security. And also, the performance is limited. In CCC last year, 2 years ago, Rohit has given a talk about the future, the past, the future of CloudStack VR. So you can watch the video online. In CloudStack 4.19, we have implemented the first stage of CloudStack integration. So it has two parts. The first one is we support the basic operation of VNF images, including the create, update, list, and delete. And also we can configure the VNF nicks and the details of VNF images. And the second part is it supports the deployment and management of VNF plans. So ideally, we can automatically program some network rules for the management interface of VNF plans. And also this access information can be displayed on the CloudStack UI and also in the API response. Some use cases of VNF appliances. First one is from Silver Peak SD-WAN, now it's called HPE Aruba. So they have some servers and they want to connect to each other. So they, for example, they have servers in data center and some servers in public cloud, and they can access these servers from their office or from the mobile phone. For the data center and the office and mobile, they have some hardware devices to collect each other, and it can also use to optimize the network. And for the public cloud, we cannot put any hardware to the public cloud, so there is a virtual machine, special virtual machine, which is used to run some services and collect to the hardware devices in their data center or in the office. So this one is kind of VNF appliance. Second use case is riverbed network optimization. So use case is there are two CloudStack VPCs in separate zones, so they are not in the same place, same data center. And to collect these two VPCs, currently we need to create a remote site-to-site VPN, but the performance is not good. And if we use the riverbed optimizer, and we can we can create a virtual machine from the Flex VPN, the image, and put to both sides, and we can create a tunnel between these two images, and the transfer from between these two VPC can be optimized and accelerated. Yeah. Yeah. This VPC appliance. The third use case is PF Sans firewall. So we want to collect VMs in some in managed network and in local network and DMZ. So currently we can create a CloudStack VPC. So there are three tiers: one for management, one for local, one for DMZ, and we use we can create set up a DNet to the VMs in the management NICs so we can access the VMs. there are another way to replace this one, which we do not rely on CloudStack VPC. So we can replace the VPC VR as a pfSense VM. Yeah. So here, this we call it a VNF appliance. I will use this use case as an example to explain how to build our own VNF images and compare these two solutions. So, section 3, build your own VNF images. First step, before we create the VNF images, we need to choose a root OS. Yeah. So there are several options. For example, pfSense, OpenSense, VirOS, MikroTik, or even some Linux distributions. For example, RP Linux or even Debian. In my talk, I will use pfSense to create VNF images. So the steps are same as what we create a template from ISO. So first, register ISO, then deploy VM, and then configure the VM, and then create template from VM. So now I've registered ISO from the pfSense, and the OS type is FreeBSD 14. This is what's the pfSense ISO built from. Then deploy VMs from ISO. If we want to collect three networks, we can create a VM with 3 networks. We can even create a VM with 6, 8 networks. It's not a problem. Then we need to open the VM console and configure the services in pfSense. So first step, we need to assign the interfaces for pfSense. For example, the first one is on ISO networks, and the second and third networks are L2 networks. Yeah. Now we need to enable the interfaces. The first one we configure as DHCP, so it will get the IP address from CloudStack VR. And for the second and third network, we configure it as a static IP, and it will be used as the gateway of the L2 network and the L2 networks. Yeah. So this is the IP of it's not very clear. So it's 192.168.1.1. Yeah. Now we need to configure the DHCP services in the pfSense. So enable DHCP, and we need to specify the range of for the VMs on L2 network. Now create a VM from the volume, and then the VNF images is ready for use. When the image is ready, we need to register the VNF template and configure the VNF template on CloudStack UI. First, register the template from URL. In CloudStack 4.19, we can. This is a new field on the UI, so we can, and also the API, so we can specify the template type for the new template. By default, it will be user, and we can also register template as a VNF template. Yeah. If you have already registered template, we can update a regular template to a VNF template. Yeah. It's also possible. The next step, we need to configure the VNF settings. This one is only available for the VNF template. So we can add the VNF nick and the VNF details. the VNF leak has the following properties. First one, device ID. So that means the ID of the VM, and the NIC with the device ID is 0 will be the default ID of the VNF appliance. And required, which means if we need to choose a network for the NIC. And management NIC, we can program some network rules for the management NIC. And for the VNF details, there are some options: access method, HTTP parse and port, HTTPS, and some username and password. And for the when we create at the VNF details for the access method, there are 5 options. We can choose multiple of them. So this is the example of the VNF settings. I create configure the VNF images with 3 NICs. The first one is the public interface, and the second and third are local. So and the IP, the second NIC will run DHCP service and with IP in 1.0/24, and the third NIC will run DHCP service with 2.0/24, and some VNF details. Okay, now it's time to deploy our VNF appliance. This result is the same as the VM deployment, but there are some new settings for the VNF appliance. So it's in the network section, there are new part named the VNF appliance, where we can list all the VNF appliance and manage VNF appliance. Yeah. So we can choose 3 networks, or 2 is also okay. And in the next section, we need to select a relevant network for each VNC NIC. Yeah. So for example, the first one, the NIC will be created on isolated network, and the second and the third NIC will be on L2 network. And there are checkbox to specify if we need to configure the file rules for the VNF's management interface, and the source CIDO from which access to the VNF's management interface are allowed. So what file rules will be configured? If the management network is isolated networks, then it will automatically acquire a public IP and enable the static net and create file rules to allow the access to SSH, ATP, or HTTP ports. And if the management network is a shared network with security groups, and CloudStack will automatically create a new security group and add some rules to allow the traffic to the port, to access port. Yeah. For if the management is L2 network or VPC tier, and no rules will be applied. In the advanced mode, we can choose the cluster, the port, the host, which are available for root admin. And we can also use user date. If the VNF image supports Cloud Init, then we can configure the VNF images automatically. And also a affinity group, so we can deploy multiple pfSense instance to get a cluster with high availability. So. So when the VNF appliance is deployed successfully, in the notification area, it will display the user date and default password. And if the template support the script for reset password, and it will also display the new password. Open in the VM details page, we can see the management access information for the VNF appliance. For example, I set the access method as a console, SSH, and ATP and ATP proxy. So ATPS. So there are some links displayed on the UI. If we look at the firewall rules of the new public IP, the TCP traffic to port 2280 and 443 are allowed. So we can access the PNF appliance without any manual network configuration. Yeah. So this is the dashboard of pfSense. Now I create two VMs, one on the IR2001 and another VM on IR220. And normally there should be no IP assigned in the IR2 networks because there's no VR, no cluster VR, and no DHCP, no DNS running. But since we have deployed a VNF appliance, the VMs can get the IP from the pfSense instance. Yeah. So here I can see. Yeah. Because the image is not correct. Sorry. One moment. Yeah, I think. And if we look at the left one, we can see that the VM on IR201 can connect to another VM on IR202 without any problem. And also, both VM can access the public internet. So let me compare both solutions. The first one is VPC-based solution, and the next one is pfSense-based solution. So for VPC, all the tiers must be in the same parent CIDO. And if we have a VM on existing network, we cannot add the network to VPC. But if we use pfSense, the network CIDOs are configurable, so we can use different CIDO or different parent CIDO for the IR2 networks. And also, if we have already created our IR2 network, we can attach the network to the VNF appliance. And for the feature side, both solutions support source net, static net, load balancer, port forwarding, and VPC firewall rule, VPN firewall rules, static rules, DNS, and DHCP. And the pfSense-based solution also can configure the OpenVPN, and the static routes doesn't support the private gateway, so they're better than the VPC-based solution. And besides its differences, and the pfSense solution also provides much more featured functionalities. For example, the virtual IP, DNS forwarder, dynamic DNS, dynamic routing, BGP, OSPF, which can be configured by FRR. So last part, a summary. In CloudStack 4.19, we support the management of VNF images and also the VNF appliance, and automatically program some network rules to access the VNF appliance. In my opinion, this feature is still in a very early stage of VNF integration and support. So our goal is to allow users to use the VNF appliance with a very native manual intervention. Ideally, VNF appliance can be configured automatically, like we currently have on CloudStack VR. However, there are some challenges because there are many types of VNF images, and there are many ways to access them. So, for example, some VNF images are accessed by SSH or REST API or Unix socket, and some require some TCP proxies or tunnel. And on the data model side, we probably need to support JSON or XML or ATP parameters or some argument for share commands. And also the upgrade might be a problem. Some ideas, for example, in next class release, we can create a new network offerings without CloudStack VR. Yeah, so we can create networks with VNF, and when we create network, we can specify the VNF images for each supported service. For example, the source net will be provided by the pfSense, not by CloudStack UI, CloudStack VR. To do this one, we probably need to have a new plugin framework for VNF. And of course, CloudStack VR will still be supported as one of the plugins. And we can probably support pfSense. We can support VYOS. And some network vendors can bring their own plugin. So we can support them in CloudStack. Yeah. So that's it. Thanks, Alex, Jason, Luxun, and Dan for your design, review, and testing. Yeah. That's it.
Thank you, Wei. Exciting work. I have a list of questions online. Is there anyone in the room that has a question? I see 3. Okay, these 3 I'm going to do first, and then if we can't get to the online, we do them online afterwards.
Maybe I'll go first. Any reason why it is not supporting user data? Any reason why it is not supporting user data? Is it just a limitation, or?
You know, in CloudStack VR, the user data is provided by HTTP Apache. So, but in pfSense it's difficult, yeah. But we can use config drive instead, yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Hello, thank you for your presentation. Is it compatible with pfSense cluster?
I think with this feature, we can deploy multiple pfSense in a network, and but you need to configure them as a pfSense cluster. It's feasible, yeah. There's no limitation that only one VNF appliance can be deployed in a network. You can deploy multiple network VNF appliances, yeah.
If I saw correct, in your example with the pfSense, you had a static NAT or one-to-one NAT between a virtual router and the pfSense, right?
Well, the management NIC, I don't know, where is it? Where is my? So this one, in this example, the management NIC is on isolated networks, but you can create a VNF. You can put the management NIC on a shared network or shared network with security groups, so they can. I mean the IP, the management IP can be public IP. Yeah. It's not mandatory to that the management NIC is on isolated network. Yeah.
So Shiv is asking a question online about user data. I propose you go and check that out. Alexander, can we add interfaces to the pfSense VNF after deployment?
Sorry,
can we add interfaces to the VNF after deployment?
Yes, absolutely. It's same as other virtual machines, regular virtual machines. Yeah.
Next question by Kaushik. Can we use the VNF appliance in the same zone along with a traditional virtual router?
Yes.
And if yes, can we use the same public VLAN which has been defined for the virtual public router interface? For the virtual router public interface.
For now, I think we cannot use the we cannot add the virtual machine VNF appliance to use the IP in the public range. Yeah, all the networks should be managed by CloudStack. I mean, should be guest networks.
Okay, last question. Can we use this functionality for FortiGate VMs as well?
Yes. Yeah.
Thank you all. Thank you, Y. Big hand of applause.